Letters. These are things that nowadays are mostly replaced by technological means, such as emails, Twitter, messages, and different stuff like that. But it was somewhat different back in the 90s, last century, when people used to write it by hand, put it in the envelope, have some emotions with it, put some stamp, and just send it. For me, I still remember my letter. It was my Flex application, which I put in an envelope, I stamped it, I sent it, and Flex at that time was called Freedom Support Act Youth Exchange. And then later on, I was called to my school principal's office, and he officially handed me another letter. I opened that letter, it was saying, "Congratulations, you have been selected, blah, blah, blah." I don't know where that letter is now, but that letter meant a lot to me. I read it over and over, my classmates read it over and over. But nowadays, if one receives a letter, I don't know, it might be a call to the court, it might be a penalty, or it might be something weird, or in a best case scenario, you can get a Christmas card or a birthday card. But for me, there's a letter to which I'm always looking. And these are the letters that are coming from my host brother. Yeah. We keep in touch in this oldie-worldy way. We reject today's like instant communication methods. We just write letters to each other, and it doesn't matter that even we cannot kind of decode what it says, because these letters mean a lot to us. These letters keep our friendship alive, our everlasting friendship alive. And Flex is one of these programs that creates such friendships among different people. And through Flex, I was able to find my soulmate and my brother on the other side of the world. And now, how was that other side of the world? So, when again I got a letter just saying that, hey, like you're gonna be placed in California, it was for me like the youngster's dream came true. I said, bingo to me, I'm going to go to California. And my placement was in San Bernardino, which is some like 3 hours drive from LA. I said, cool, I'm gonna go to LA, Hollywood is there, the nice beaches around. I said, my favorite basketball team, Lakers, so I'm gonna go to the Staples Stadium there, I'm gonna come do this, and lots of other things. And most importantly, my childhood dream. We were raised on Disney movies, and I said, I'm gonna be finally in a Disneyland. And of course, I thought that I'm gonna master my English, and I'm gonna, for my return, become someone useful for my country. And to be honest with you, most of these like dreams came true and were realized. And also the one like becoming someone useful for my country, as I worked for some like 10 years for in the field of international relations, and then some additional 10 years in the field of like development, and now working for American Peace Corps for promoting the American-Armenian friendship. So with all these kind of objectives in my head, at that time I didn't even give a second thought about the host family that was opening their hearts, that was opening their home to me and was able like to host me. And also I didn't think about the host brother, who is actually like going to become my kind of best friend and my soulmate. So with all these kind of things in my head, I just received another letter, which was the application that was shared with me, handwritten from my host family, and I still have it, and I have it in my bag. So it was saying that, hey, like when I read it, I understood. My host mother is of Thai descent, and my host father is of Japanese descent. And I thought to myself, and at that time, back in the 90s, there wasn't much of this talk about the diversity. So I thought to myself, so is this going to be like my real American experience? But that was not enough. The whole party started when I went to my city of San Bernardino in California. And the first day when I was at my high school, I realized that most of the people there are Asian Americans, African Americans, Latin Americans. And to my surprise, I found myself that I'm one of the old white guys in the neighborhood. Wow. So the next step, so I went like to my English class. That was there like to improve my English. And to my surprise, I just found out that my English grammar, spelling, writing skills are the best in the class. And then I realized that I have to study some basic Spanish in order to interact with my classmates who are of Latin American origin. So I started like, ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Qué pasa, hombre? This type of things. So there were crazy things going on. So the other thing, when I was lucky to be elected to play for our school's basketball team. And at that time, I had the chance to get more closer interaction and love the African American culture. I learned about their endless fight of their rights, and I even started rapping. So I still remember this vision of the dark night when our school bus was coming back from a game, and either it was a loss or a victory, but one of our teammates would start singing never give up, keep your head up, and all our classmates would jump in and would start rhyming together. And these emotions of the way that when we encourage each other when we were losing, or we were kind of celebrating when we were winning the games, those are still kept alive with me. And again, so all these memories, all these thoughts are being reanimated in me when I'm getting these thick letters from my host brother. These letters can contain printed photos. This lantern can have some comics written drawings. Ugly handwriting is always there. But these are the memories that are being reanimated in me. So the memories, the crazy things that we have done with my host brother during the Halloween, different things, the way that we used to play basketball until it gets really dark. One-on-one, I was beating him. Even one-on-two, I was beating him. Although he was very kind of passionate and proud of his pull-up skills, saying that he's better than me in these pull-ups. All these memories. And even the new memories are associated with the letters. Once, in the middle of the night, I'm getting a weird phone call. I'm just looking on my mobile, seeing code 1909, oh, that's my host brother. Or even once, I got a letter, and that letter was saying hey, I'm planning to come to Armenia, which he actually did. So there is one thing that I would like just to emphasize out of my Flex experience. Sometimes you go to some place with some big objectives, with some big strategies, but eventually you find something else about which you haven't thought much. And you as a Flexers here, you can just reflect back for yourselves and just feel how much this program has provided to you about which you haven't thought, how much positive things you have acquired. For me, definitely, it was the everlasting friendship with my host brother. Now, coming back, when my host brother was in Armenia, it was some 5-6 years ago, and we were kind of celebrated our 15 years of friendship. So we decided to do a day trip to Georgia. For some reason, my host brother thought that it would be cool to have Georgia's entry stamp in his passport, because most of the people back in the States think that Georgia is one of their states. So we did this trip. We hanged around in the area in the central Tbilisi area where we are kind of nowadays hanging around. And I again reflected back to our letters. And I have started a letter to my host brother nearly in January, a month or two ago. And it's still unfinished. Because we send our letters unfinished, it can be crinkled, it can be burned on the edges. So what I'm gonna do, that letter is still unfinished. I'm gonna put the script of my talk, which is here, just reading from here, you can imagine. So I'm gonna put this script in that letter and send it to my host brother as a continuation of the weird way of our friendship, the way that we kind of keep in touch. And just to conclude my speech, I would like to express my gratitude to the Flex program for this time giving me the opportunity for sending this letter to my host brother from Tbilisi. So thank you very much.